What if the biggest threat to your relationship isn't cheating, isn't screaming, isn't one catastrophic mistake? What if it's the tiny lie you keep telling because it feels easier than telling the truth? I didn't see your message. I'm just tired. Nothing's wrong. It didn't bother me. Those words sound harmless, almost compassionate, almost protective, yet they quietly build a wall between two people who desperately want to be known. You don't lose trust all at once. You lose it one hidden truth at a time. You may already know what that feels like. You notice something is off, but you can't explain it. The conversations still happen. The routines still exist. You still say, I love you. Yet something feels strangely distant, as though you're standing beside someone whose heart is slowly moving further away every day. It's confusing because there wasn't a dramatic explosion. There wasn't one unforgettable betrayal. There were only countless tiny moments when honesty was traded for comfort. The painful part is that many small lies aren't born from cruelty. They're born from fear. Fear of disappointing someone. Fear of starting an argument. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear that if people saw the real you, they might leave. So you edit yourself, you soften your feelings, you hide your hurt. You smile when you're exhausted, you agree when your heart is screaming no. You pretend you're okay because keeping the peace feels safer than risking rejection. At first, it works. The argument disappears. The tension fades. Everyone goes to sleep believing everything is fine. But your nervous system remembers what your mouth refused to say. Every hidden emotion asks your body to carry another secret. Eventually, the relationship begins feeling heavy, even though nobody can point to a single reason why. That's the confusing part about emotional distance. It rarely announces itself. It grows silently in ordinary moments. A forced laugh, an avoided conversation, a compliment you didn't mean, a promise you already knew you couldn't keep. None of these moments seem large enough to matter. Yet together, they quietly reshape the entire relationship because intimacy doesn't disappear through one devastating event. It disappears through repeated moments where authenticity is replaced with performance. Maybe you've been blaming yourself for feeling disconnected. Maybe you've wondered why someone who says they love you suddenly feels impossible to reach. Maybe the answer isn't hidden inside one enormous mistake. Maybe it's hiding inside the smallest ones. And once you understand why your brain chooses those small lies, you'll never look at honesty the same way again. You were probably taught that lying is a moral failure, that honest people tell the truth and dishonest people don't. Real life is far more complicated. Most small lies don't begin with bad character. They begin with an overwhelmed nervous system trying to stay safe. Your brain is designed to protect you from emotional danger just as fiercely as it protects you from physical danger. If telling the truth once led to humiliation, rejection, ridicule, or abandonment, your mind quietly learns a lesson: honesty is risky. So it creates shortcuts. You minimize your feelings. You avoid difficult conversations. You tell someone you're fine because the truth feels too expensive. This isn't always manipulation. Often it's self-protection disguised as politeness. Psychologists sometimes describe this as conflict avoidance. Your nervous system believes peace is more important than authenticity. The problem is that avoiding conflict doesn't eliminate it. It simply postpones it while quietly increasing its emotional cost. Think about trust for a moment. Most people imagine trust as something dramatic, something destroyed by betrayal or rebuilt by grand gestures. In reality, trust is much smaller than that. It's created every time your words match your reality. When you say, I'm okay, and you aren't, your partner loses an opportunity to truly know you. When you promise something you can't give, they begin trusting a version of you that doesn't actually exist. When you hide disappointment to avoid an uncomfortable conversation, you also hide the chance to grow together. Little by little, the relationship becomes built on edited versions of each other instead of two real human beings. Here's the quiet tragedy. The more successful those small lies become, the lonelier you often feel, because the person who loves you isn't actually loving the whole you. They're loving the version you've carefully constructed to keep everyone comfortable. No wonder genuine connection starts to disappear. You can't feel deeply known while constantly filtering yourself. Take a moment and notice how heavy that feels, not because you're a bad person, but because carrying an invisible mask is exhausting. Silence can protect you for a day. It cannot nourish a relationship for a lifetime. Once you see that these tiny lies are often symptoms rather than the real problem, another question naturally appears. If fear teaches you to hide, what does hiding eventually create between two people who once felt completely safe? Imagine an old wooden bridge stretching across a quiet river. From a distance, it looks solid. People walk across it every day without hesitation. It has survived storms, heavy footsteps, and changing seasons. Nobody questions its strength because nothing appears broken. Now imagine that every week, one tiny bolt disappears. Just one. No loud crack. No dramatic collapse. The bridge still stands. Everyone keeps crossing it, believing it's as strong as ever. Months pass. Another bolt. Another. One morning, the bridge gives way, not because of one catastrophic event, but because of hundreds of unnoticed moments that weakened what once felt unshakable. Relationships rarely collapse because of one conversation. They collapse because tiny moments of truth are quietly replaced with tiny moments of protection. Picture a couple sitting across from each other at dinner. How was your day? Fine. The answer isn't technically false. Work wasn't terrible. Nothing dramatic happened. But what remains unsaid is far more important. You felt invisible during a meeting. You questioned your worth after a careless comment. You drove home wondering whether you're becoming someone you don't even recognize. Instead of inviting your partner into that inner world, you close the door, not because you don't love them, because you're tired, because you don't want to seem needy, because somewhere along the way, vulnerability began feeling dangerous. The conversation moves on. The dishes are washed. Another ordinary evening ends, yet something precious never happened. You were physically present, but emotionally absent. Now imagine that scene repeated hundreds of times. Years later, both people sit on the same couch, wondering the same heartbreaking question. When did we stop feeling close? The truth is, there wasn't one moment. There were thousands. Thousands of opportunities to say, I'm scared. Thousands of chances to admit that hurt. Thousands of invitations to ask, can you sit with me for a minute? Instead, fear quietly whispered, stay quiet. Don't make this difficult. Fear often sounds practical. It tells you that silence is kindness. It tells you that pretending is maturity. It tells you that protecting someone from your feelings is an act of love. But genuine intimacy has never been built on perfect performances. It's built in the moments when two imperfect people decide that being real is more valuable than looking strong. Think about a cracked mirror. At first, it's only a thin line across the glass. You can still see your reflection. Eventually, the crack spreads until every image becomes distorted. Small lies work the same way. They don't simply hide the truth. They slowly distort reality itself. Soon, one partner starts guessing instead of knowing. The other starts pretending instead of feeling. Both become experts at reading silence while forgetting how to speak honestly. Pause for a second. The strongest relationships aren't the ones with the fewest problems. They're the ones where truth is welcomed before fear has the chance to rewrite it. That realization changes everything, because if small lies quietly build emotional distance, the hardest part isn't admitting them. It's facing what they've already cost and deciding whether you're finally ready to stop paying that price. There comes a moment in some relationships that feels almost impossible to explain. Nothing dramatic has happened that day. No shouting, no slammed doors, no shocking confession. Yet you look across the room at someone you love and realize you no longer feel emotionally safe with them. That realization doesn't arrive overnight. It arrives after years of teaching each other that comfort matters more than truth. This is the shadow side of small lies. They don't just protect you from uncomfortable conversations. They train the people closest to you to stop expecting honesty. Eventually, your partner stops asking what's wrong because they already know the answer will be nothing. You stop sharing because you've convinced yourself they wouldn't understand anyway. Silence becomes your common language. The heartbreaking irony is that both of you may still care deeply. Love hasn't necessarily disappeared. Trust has, and without trust, love has nowhere secure to land. Here's the hard truth most people avoid. Every lie asks for another lie to protect it. You say you weren't hurt. Now you have to act like you weren't hurt. You say you're okay. Now your face, your tone, and your behavior have to support a reality that doesn't exist. You promise you'll forgive quickly. Now resentment has to hide beneath forced smiles. Living this way is exhausting because you're no longer managing one emotion. You're managing an entire performance. The human brain wasn't designed to carry that weight forever. Psychologists call this emotional incongruence, the painful gap between what you genuinely feel and what you allow yourself to express. The wider that gap becomes, the more anxiety, resentment, and emotional numbness begin to grow. That's why some people suddenly say, I don't know who I am anymore. They didn't lose themselves in one terrible moment. They abandoned themselves in 1,000 tiny ones. Perhaps the greatest cost isn't that someone else stops knowing you. It's that you stop recognizing yourself. You become so practiced at editing your emotions that authenticity begins to feel unfamiliar. You hesitate before answering simple questions because you're searching for the right response instead of the honest one. You apologize for needs that never required an apology. You confuse keeping the peace with keeping the relationship alive. But peace built on avoidance isn't peace. It's postponed pain. Real intimacy asks for something much harder. It asks you to risk being misunderstood today instead of becoming invisible tomorrow. That's terrifying because honesty offers no guarantees. Someone may disagree. Someone may feel disappointed. Someone may even walk away. Yet, every meaningful relationship eventually reaches the same crossroads. One path says, keep pretending. The other says, let yourself be fully seen. Only one of those paths leads to genuine connection. Take a quiet moment and ask yourself this. If the person you love only knows the version of you that's afraid to tell the truth, do they truly know you at all? The answer may be uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the doorway to healing. Because once you stop measuring love by how little conflict exists, you begin measuring it by how much truth it can safely hold. And that's where everything starts to change. The final step isn't about becoming brutally honest overnight. It's about making one courageous choice that can begin rebuilding trust, one small truth at a time.